Caroline Montgomery was the daughter of Senator William Montgomery, one of the most powerful men in the Arizona Territory. She wore silk dresses, attended finishing school, and was expected to marry into Boston high society. Nathan was the son of an Apache mother and white trapper father, raised on the frontier, valued by the senator only for his exceptional tracking skills. He was the senator's hunting dog, called upon when game needed finding or dangerous men needed tracking, then dismissed back to the servants' quarters when his usefulness ended. They met when Caroline was 18, home from school for the summer. She'd wandered into the stables where Nathan was tending horses, and instead of treating him like furniture as most people did, she spoke to him like a human being. That simple act of recognition changed everything. What happened next would challenge every rule society had written about class and race, proving that love recognizes no boundaries except the ones we build ourselves. But before we continue with this forbidden love story, if you believe real love transcends social barriers, hit that like button and subscribe because we share powerful stories every single day. Their friendship grew in stolen moments. Caroline would sneak to the stables, bringing books to read aloud while Nathan worked. He taught her about the land, about tracking, about his mother's Apache heritage. She taught him to read better, to write, to navigate the world of white society that both fascinated and repelled him. Friendship became something deeper, though neither dared name it. "My father's planning my engagement," Caroline told Nathan one evening, her voice hollow. "To Senator Bradford's son, a man I've met twice and find completely insufferable." Nathan's hand stilled on the bridle he was mending. "When?" "The announcement comes next month." "The wedding by spring." She turned to face him. "Nathan, I can't do it. I can't marry a man I don't love while pretending you don't exist." "What are you saying?" Nathan asked carefully, afraid to hope. "I'm saying I love you," Caroline said. "I know it's impossible. I know my father would disown me, that society would reject us both. But I love you anyway, and pretending I don't is killing me." Now you might wonder what it takes to choose love over privilege, to risk everything for someone society says you shouldn't want. Share your thoughts in the comments about forbidden love and choosing authenticity over expectations, because this story shows the price and power of following your heart. Nathan crossed the distance between them, taking her hands in his. "I've loved you since the first day you looked at me like I was a person instead of a tool." "But Caroline, do you understand what choosing me means? You'd lose everything. Your family, your status, your comfortable life. I have nothing to offer but a cabin in the wilderness and hard work." "You're offering yourself," Caroline said. "Your heart, your honesty, your soul. That's everything that matters." She gripped his hands tightly. "I'd rather have poverty with you than gilded cages with someone else." They planned their escape carefully. Nathan had saved money from his tracking work. Caroline sold her jewelry piece by piece, hiding the cash. They waited until the senator left for Washington. Then Caroline simply walked away from everything she'd ever known. Her father's rage was legendary. He sent men after them, offered rewards for Nathan's capture on fabricated charges. But Nathan knew this territory better than any tracker the senator could hire. They stayed one step ahead, moving through Apache lands where Nathan's mother's people offered protection, through small settlements where no one asked questions if you paid cash. They married in a tiny mission church. No family present, no celebration beyond their own joy. The priest who performed the ceremony had seen enough of life to know that love mattered more than society's rules. "God doesn't care about your bloodlines," he told them. "Only your hearts." Life was hard. They built a cabin far from civilization, hunted and farmed to survive. Caroline's soft hands became calloused from work. Nathan taught her everything he knew about wilderness survival. There were days they went hungry, winters that tested them to their limits. But they had each other, and that was enough. 3 years after their escape, Caroline's younger brother found them. "Father's dying," he said. "He's asking for you." Caroline and Nathan rode back to face the man who'd tried to destroy them. Senator Montgomery lay in his grand bed, diminished by illness, surrounded by opulence that suddenly seemed hollow. His eyes widened when he saw his daughter, tanned and lean, dressed in simple homespun, holding the hand of the man he'd called his hunting dog. "You look terrible," he said weakly, then coughed. "Like a common laborer." "I look happy," Caroline replied. "Can you say the same about the life you built for yourself?" The senator studied Nathan, seeing him truly for perhaps the first time. "You took my daughter from me. She chose to leave," Nathan said quietly. "I simply gave her a place to go. And have you made her happy?" The senator asked. "Every single day," Caroline answered before Nathan could. "He treats me as an equal partner, values my thoughts, respects my choices. Everything you told me a husband should be, he actually is." The senator closed his eyes. "I was a fool. I saw you as a tool, Nathan, when you were a better man than any in my circle. And I tried to force my daughter into a cage when she deserved to fly." He opened his eyes again. "I'm dying without my family around me because I valued power over people. Don't make my mistakes. He died that night." His will surprised everyone. He left his fortune to Caroline with no conditions, acknowledging her marriage and apologizing in writing for his prejudice. "My daughter had the courage I lacked," he'd written. "She chose authentic love over false propriety. She was always the stronger one. The inheritance changed their material circumstances, but not their hearts." They built a larger home, hired workers who Nathan treated as equals, created a refuge for other couples who faced rejection for crossing society's boundaries. Caroline used her education to start a school that accepted children of all backgrounds. Nathan's tracking skills helped find missing people, always refusing payment from those who couldn't afford it. Years later, at a gathering celebrating their 25th anniversary, someone asked Caroline if she'd ever regretted her choice. She looked at Nathan, silver threading through his dark hair, still looking at her with the same love he'd shown in that stable so long ago. "Regret?" she said. "I regret only that I didn't choose him sooner. Society said he was beneath me because of his blood and his background. But he was above every man in my father's world in the ways that actually mattered. He had integrity, compassion, and the courage to love someone everyone said he shouldn't want." Nathan pulled her close. "Love never asked for permission. It just asked if we were brave enough to answer. If this story touched you, if it reminded you that real love transcends artificial boundaries and true worth has nothing to do with birth or status, please share it today. Maybe someone needs courage to choose authenticity over expectations. Or maybe someone needs to know that following your heart is worth the cost." Subscribe for more stories about love that defies convention. Thank you for being here. See you in the next story.